In today's video, we'll be going through the worst seats on the plane and where you might want to sit instead. Most airlines will now charge you to select any seat, even in economy, and trust me, you do not want to end up paying for these seats. Let's kick things off with the bulkhead seats that are found at the front of the economy section. To make this easier to follow along, I'm going to use an actual one-way flight from Newark to Los Angeles with United Airlines in basic economy. Wow, that is restrictive. Here is the seat map with options to choose a seat, and when a middle economy seat starts at $22.99, it is not cheap. So let's start from these available premium economy seats and work our way to the back of the plane while identifying the absolute worst seats that you should never pay for. Bulkhead seats are those that are located immediately behind a wall, and they might seem like a great choice at first due to the extra legroom, but don't be fooled. These seats come with a ton of downsides. There's no under-seat storage, so all of your belongings must go in the overhead bin, making it inconvenient to access your stuff during the flight. The tray tables and entertainment screens are often built into the armrest, possibly reducing your seat's width, and they can also be flimsy and annoying to use. Other passengers may also use that extra legroom in front of your seat as a walkway to get from one side of the cabin to the other. I was once yelled at by an angry mother with her children who was sitting in the bulkhead seats when I tried to cross over in the space between her seat and the wall to get from one side of the cabin to the other side. I didn't realize at the time how intrusive this move actually was. And I'm willing to bet there are a ton of other passengers that have not been enlightened by an angry mother and will still try to cross in this section between the bulkhead seat and the wall, which is definitely a reason to not be that person sitting in the bulkhead seat. Speaking of mothers, the second set of seats to avoid would be those located directly around the bulkhead seats. Bulkhead seats are frequently located near baby bassinets, which means that you might be in for a noisy flight with crying infants if you do happen to be sitting near them. The next seats to avoid would be those that are within 3 rows of the bathroom. Avoiding seats within 3 rows of the bathroom is a smart move since these seats are subjected to constant foot traffic as passengers queue up for the restroom, which can lead to persistent noise and disturbances. The proximity to the bathrooms also means that you'll be exposed to unpleasant smells, especially during long flights where the bathroom is getting a ton of use after drinks and meals are served. Additionally, seats directly in front of the bathrooms might have limited recline, and trust me, you do not want to be seated upright for the entire duration of a long-haul flight. To top it off, the area around the bathrooms tends to become a social hub where people congregate, adding to the commotion. So for a quieter and more comfortable flight, steer clear of the seats that are 3 rows in front or 3 rows behind the bathrooms. You also probably want to avoid exit row seats. Like bulkhead seats, exit rows can seem appealing due to the extra legroom, but they also come with quite a few cons. Since these seats can often be more expensive than regular economy seats, it's good to know exactly what you are getting before paying up. These seats tend to be some of the coldest on the plane due to their proximity to the doors. You might also be missing a window on the exit row door, and the armrests may not move up and down like they do in other seats. I would also advise you to avoid any seats that are directly in front of exit row seats. These seats often have limited or no recline at all to ensure that the exitway path remains clear. No recline on a long flight is going to be pretty uncomfortable. The back row seats are often the last place that you want to find yourself on a flight. These seats usually do not recline and are often positioned right next to the bathrooms. Additionally, sitting in the back row means that you're likely to be one of the last to deplane, which can be a hassle if you are in a hurry to catch a connecting flight to get to your final destination. The back of the plane also tends to experience more turbulence, leading to a bumpier ride, and should definitely be avoided if you are a nervous flyer. Avoiding seats within 3 rows of the galleys is a wise choice if you are looking for a more peaceful flight experience. These seats are often subject to constant noise from the galley, where flight attendants are busy preparing meals and beverages, which can be particularly bothersome during meal service times. The bright lights from the galley area can also be disturbing, especially if you are on an overnight flight or just trying to get some sleep. And now we can move on to the window, the aisle, and the middle seats. Let us know down in the comments which one you would prefer to sit in. No surprise here, but my preference is not the middle seat. Being sandwiched between two other passengers means that you have limited personal space and are likely to feel cramped. The lack of mobility can also make you feel trapped, and getting up requires asking your seatmate to move. You might also find yourself competing for armrests, as passengers on either side of you may try to claim them. One situation where you might think that it's worth paying for a middle seat would be if you are traveling with children and you want to make sure that you are seated with them. Don't. At least not without checking this first. Paying extra for a middle seat, or any seat, just to sit beside your child is now unnecessary thanks to a new rule from the U.S. Department of Transportation. This rule mandates that airlines must seat children under the age of 13 next to an adult that they are traveling with without any additional charge. This regulation ensures that families are kept together, so even if you don't select seats at all, you should be seated with your kid for free. I'll link in the description to the DOT dashboard that updates which airlines are currently following this rule, and it is expected that most major airlines will be following it soon. I recognize that these videos can be a little overwhelming as they cover a lot of information. This is why I've started sending out a free email on Tuesday that summarizes in bullet points all of the tips from the latest video. You can scan the code on the screen or check the newsletter link down in the description where you can sign up for free. Moving on to window seats, while they do offer a view, they can be less than ideal on a long flight for several reasons. If you need to stretch your legs or use the washroom, you'll have to disturb your seatmates and essentially get their permission to get up out of your seat. Window seats can also be colder due to their proximity to the aircraft's exterior. The wall of the plane can often feel chilly, and the air vents nearby make it harder to stay warm and comfortable. And while you might think that leaning against the window is going to be comfortable, it often doesn't provide as much support as you would hope. As someone who gets cold easily and has to pee every 2 hours, I avoid the window seats. While aisle seats offer several advantages, such as easy access to the restroom and the ability to stretch your legs, there are a few considerations to keep in mind before making your final decision on the best seat for your trip. The disadvantage of an aisle seat is that you'll need to get up whenever your seatmates need to leave their seats. Aisle seats are also located next to the main walking path of the plane, so you might get bumped by other passengers or crew members passing by. Being closer to the aisle also means that you're more exposed to passengers and crew members moving through the cabin, which could increase your chances of catching a bug or a cold. I love a good aisle seat, and a little secret is that all aisle seats are not created equal. Choosing an aisle seat in the middle row is superior to an aisle seat on the sides of the plane, since you might only need to get up for one person in the middle seat, reducing the frequency of disturbances compared to the side aisles where two passengers, the one at the window seat and the one at the middle seat, may need to get up to move past you. And when you are seated in an aisle seat in the middle row of the cabin, the middle seat passenger beside you has two options to get up, so they don't have to make you move every single time that they'd like to get out of their seat. They can always go the other way. And now we are getting very specific, but that is what it takes to get the very best seat on your long-haul flight. I'll cross out these aisle seats on the left for two reasons. As passengers tend to choose seats based on the direction they read, which is left to right in English, the left side of the plane often fills up faster. At least that's my theory. I personally find that the seat map does fill up on the left side first. Choosing the right side might give you a better chance at having an emptier row or fewer immediate neighbors. And if you are right-handed, like I am, by choosing an aisle seat in that middle row on the right-hand side, you are able to extend your arm into the aisle, which makes it way more comfortable to do things like working on a laptop and also eating. The hand gestures might have been a little bit excessive there, sorry. So there you have it. I'm picking a middle row aisle seat on the right side of the plane, somewhere between row 46 and 54. And if you are crazy like me and would like to guarantee that the seat you choose is not a dud, there is one more thing that you can do. Hit that subscribe button. I'm mostly kidding, but it is a free way to support the channel and I would love to see you join us. Now, the actual thing to do before finalizing your seat selection would be to take a moment and check free resources like Aerolopa, Seat Maps, and SeatGuru. These websites provide detailed seat maps and insights into the best and the worst seats on the specific aircraft that you will be flying on. The first website, Aerolopa, offers accurate, up-to-date seat maps with comprehensive details about seat features, legroom, and proximity to amenities like bathrooms and galleys. You'll see things like where the baby bassinets are located and if the row happens to have a window. The second website, Seat Maps, provides interactive seat maps that let you see passenger reviews, photos, and seat ratings for the airline and the plane model that you will be flying on. I find the photos very helpful, and in this example you can see that the headrest is one of those models that is going to fold and bend to support your head, which might encourage you to leave that neck pillow at home. And the OG free website for checking seat maps on your exact flight is SeatGuru. SeatGuru allows you to enter your flight number and view a detailed seat map with color-coded recommendations. It highlights the seats to avoid. I love that SeatGuru makes it easy to immediately identify seats with bad features, like those window seats without a window, unlike Aerolopa, where you need to sleuth it out yourself, or Seat Maps, where you can't even see the windows in their seat map. Imagine paying more for a window seat and then ending up at a seat without a window. That would suck. I'll put a video up on the screen now with more insights into where to sit on the plane, including why on United Airlines you might actually want a window seat due to their new Wilma boarding policy. This video also includes little-known airline secrets, like how the back row of seats is actually statistically the safest place to be in the event of a plane crash. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button to join us back for more travel tips and hacks each week, and I'll see you in that next video soon. Thank you so much for watching and safe travels. Bye.